Hi all, and welcome back to Hyperstamper. It's Laura here, and I want to show you a little remake of a junk journal. This one has a 1920s antique book base, and on top of it is another antique book front cover from the 1800s, from 1884, Crito and Fado, which is a philosophy. And it's got this beautiful antique crochet lace all the way around here. It's so pretty. And I've made this bangle with all vintage beads and one little non-antique bangle here, just because I thought it was perfect for matching the cover here. So I didn't pierce the sides, just wanted to put the bangle in and this lovely little emblem back. And let me show you this. It's about to go into hyperstamper.etsy.com, my Etsy shop. And this was originally a City of Buffalo book, property of the city. And then I've got the original first end pages here. The publication date here is 1923. And then just some lovely original pages here. Vintage paper here, 1930s children's book here. And then this is the back and the spine of the little cover here. And I just really wanted that spine in here without ripping it away from its original piece there. And then this is the original first pages of that book that you can also journal in as well. So there's a bunch of pages there. I just thought that was a really fun little surprise. I've got some wonderful little clusters in here, all made out of my antique scraps. And then here's a lovely plate here from Tony's scrapbook from 1937, and a lovely poem here from that same book. This is a little triple pocket here with vintage playing card and some vintage Monopoly money. And then this is a wonderful 1940s magazine page that has the best advertisements. It's a really fun read, and you can collage with them or do your mixed media work or just enjoy them like I do. There is a wonderful plate here from 1892, Sunday Reading for the Young. More these wonderful inspirational bits from Tony's scrapbook. There's another one here. And, oh, sorry, this one is California Troubadour, and that also more inspirational pieces there. And this is a 1953 baker's receipt from a pastry company. And little hidden journaling spot up here. That's sort of my thing that I like to do. And I love the name of this book page here is Love's Messenger. Isn't that wonderful? And up here I've just got another fun 1930s children's book page. Just the most beautiful image, and in the center I put some antique paper and a little poem on the back about goats. My good friend loves goats so much. I always think of her when I see goat ephemera. That's antique. Vintage recipe from 1955 Betty Crocker book. And here is a hand-typed 1898 piece from a news heading here was failed, and that would have been the article there typed out before it was published. And this is all put onto a vintage map. And we've got a little children's book page that I turned into a pocket down below. Vintage crochet piece pocket here, and then 1927 banknote there. Lots of fun with that. This is another wonderful antique children's book page. A little elf there, elf here, another cobbler. And I've turned this antique paper into a journaling tag and a very pretty triple pocket here. This is from the 1800s, that piece. Whoopsie! Took a little flip out there. And then back here is just a really fun 1955 American Highways Road Map piece with some antique paper on the back. There we go there. And another children's book plate here from 1892. Children's vintage pages. Oh my god, everything in here is, of course, real, authentic antique paper. I don't use anything fake or digital. Every single piece is authentic vintage, so more than 50 years old. And I think the oldest piece in here is 150 years old, which is kind of cool. And so I just made that out of all my scraps, including the back of a book there. Really fun little booklet there for journaling in. Just a really fun little cluster here, 1800s piece there. More of the same on the flip sides here, and this is another one of those recipes, things to make and do. And this is a 1938 Paris, France almanac page, and I love it because the crossword puzzle has been completed by somebody almost 100 years ago. And this was during the war, so really cool reads if you want to throw any of that into Google Translate. It's kind of fun to do that. There's a cute little beach image there from 1930s children's book, and a vintage music page there. This is just a handwritten piece here that I always love, the old handwritten things, bylaws. So this would have been a committee page. And then this is all done on top of a ledger page from the 1930s. This is a, I want to say, theater arts magazine from the 50s. And this is a vintage 1950s Sewing Secrets book cover. I just love it. I think it's wonderful, and you can journal on both sides of that. More ledger paper here. And then these were actually taped onto this ledger. Somebody typed it out and then taped it in, which I think is really neat. Here is an antique postcard, and this one is from 1904. Isn't that cool? I love it. You can see all the horse and buggies on there, which is really neat. And then this piece here is from 1892, and that's Demarest's Family Magazine. The beautiful images here if you like to do collaging and media arts. Wonderful piece. Lovely images that always came out of that magazine. And then I have this old photograph here. Look at these three people having fun at this campfire. I love it. Isn't that great? So yeah, that's a really fun piece there. And then this is the inside end plates, or end pages, sorry, of the book. And this one still has its publisher page on there, and just really cool. You can do a lot of journaling on that piece as well. And then we're going to jump over to here. We've got a vintage botanical page from the 70s, so 50 years old there. Pearl Shop from the 50s, a 1950s stamp collector's page. Embroidery book from the 50s. This piece here is a little plate from the early 1900s. The birthplace of ships, the Clyde. So you can journal on the back of that wonderful little piece, 1930s. Gateways to Bookland page there. And then this is just a, remember I was telling you some of the pieces are 150 years old. This is one of them, and it's a French book actually. And I love that it says fini, and it's at, which is of course the end, and that is why it is at the end of the book. Black and white plate here of American Gardens, and this is a our education book from 1925. Really lovely piece there. More embroidery. This is from a vintage dictionary, the XYZ page. I love that. In Canada, we say XYZ. You can journal on the back. I added some antique paper back there. Hand stamped, botanicals, and that brings us to the last end page. So I hope you love it as much as I loved making it. Again, you can find that in my Etsy shop, hyperstamper.etsy.com, and I hope to see you soon. Bye for now.